Jean Ordenfall spent his childhood on his family's farm, just south of the Duvet Forest. His parents, Derlin and Macy, had raised him well, teaching him what he needed to know to one day take over. Financially, they did quite well for themselves, carting their crops to nearby towns and cities for sale, although the frigid weather that often surrounded their home did not make it an easy life. As is the case with most youngins living the farm life, Jean eventually sought to see what else the world had to offer, and so he left in search of what opportunities the neighboring city had for him. It wasn't long before he realized the city life was not his to live. The boy who left, though, had become a man, and the man had met a woman, a blacksmith's daughter by the name of Cerithia. They fell for each other quick, and before they knew it, their love blossomed into a marriage and a son. The son they named Derlin, after Jean's father. Jean eventually returned home to his parents' farm with his family, where they made a life for themselves, a new life for his wife and son, but one all too familiar to Jean. They were happy. That is, until the day vile creatures from beyond the veil made their way into their home. After being driven from his homeland by the insatiable undead that now plague it, Jean seeks out those brave enough to aid him in cleansing his land of the foul fate that befell him and his family, and exacting the vengeance he so eagerly thirsts for.
As a young child, Celeste Highcrest wouldn't have dreamed of leaving the sheltered life of luxury that she had become accustomed to. Born to two noble parents in a land beyond the veil, Celeste's childhood had been fraught with expectation. Her father, High Archivist Saran Highcrest, had set very high standards for his two children. The elder of those two elves, Celeste's sister Cressida, had surpassed all of them. Saran trained his two daughters in the art of magic and history, a respected wizard himself. Cressida had leaned into this as easy as breathing. Celeste, however, had struggled, fighting the shadow of her sister's success. She never quite met the expectations of her family, and was always the object of her father's disappointed glances. When the sisters came of age, they sat the entrance exam to join their father at the archives, to be mentored under his tutelage, and to be admitted to the sanctum of archives to scribe ancient texts and tomes. Cressida, to no one's surprise, surpassed all expectations and gained entrance. Celeste, however, held true to her long-standing tradition of always being second best, and was rejected. It was rare that one of her status should choose to leave the homeland, but never being able to escape the overshadowing of her sister, the youngest elf decided it was time to break free of her family and forge her own path. If she remained here, she would always be Cressida's sister, nothing more. But if she were to leave this place behind, perhaps she could prove herself as her own person. She found her way, eventually, to a hidden doorway, a portal to the material plane, and stepped through. She found a world familiar, yet strange. She walked, realizing now that whatever she had left, whatever power, had been left behind her. She boarded the first ship she came across, bound for the kingdom of Quell. Celeste travelled for years, traversing oceans between continents, desperate to find something worthy enough to bring home to her family as a tribute. But eventually the news reached her. When she had crossed into this world, the doorway had closed behind her, locking and leaving her stranded, with an entire universe between her and her home and family. And now, Celeste wanders and waits, desperate for answers that will lead her home again.
Drekik Yorksan, a white dragonborn who grew up in the area of Utevshal in Ogralan. My father was the Earl of Kriegsgard. The area was heavily contested by the opposing threat from Uzan Karul and the Blood Renderer. When I was 7, our village was attacked, and my mother was lost to us. My father, disappointed in my lack of strength and unable to care for me, gave me to the priests. They raised me and taught me the ways of the gods. It was here I studied the best I could, but as I stared for hours over books and scrolls, the markings could never seem to make sense. The occasional word I could read, but most were lost to me, due to this dreaded curse in my eyes, making the world seem blurred. It was only through listening and paying attention to the prayers and the ways of the priests that I was able to memorize the ways without ever needing to learn to read properly. After 8 years of service, my father returned for me, saying that it was time for me to return and defend my clan. I never liked war. The killing and bloodshed did not appeal to me as it did my father and brother. One night, I tried to make peace with the enemy by healing their wounded and sick, but I was betrayed. It was in this way that the village on the border of Iswalan was run over, and I was banished from my home to walk a path of shame for the rest of my days.
Hello. You're a cheeky looking fella. What are you up to? Oh, I think you must be a sheep. Come join us by the fire. I got a friend here. He's a fox. Yeah. Have some of that. Oh, that looks yum. My name's Ingwe. This is my first day here. First day out here. Yeah, fox. Nice. Yeah, my tribe, we tell the stories of the world. And when we're old enough, like me, ready, they reckon, we head out into the world and go on a quest, adventure. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to do a quest or adventure. Some people just, like hang with people and listen to their stories. But I think I want to do something exciting. That's my plan anyway. But you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I've lived 300 moons, but everything's so different out here. Like, you guys can't talk. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to get you guys to talk to me, because this is a pretty one-sided conversation at the moment. Here, nice. That's one-sided conversation because you're a sheep and you're a fox. Anyway, so as I was saying, we head out into the world and try and find some stories and try and meet some people. Some people like you could be the people, although you're pretty quiet. You could be the people that I meet and take back, and you can hang with me and my tribe, and we can tell stories. Sit by the fire, Does that sound like a good idea? No? You probably already have someone to hang with. Oh well. Well, you're friendly enough as it is. So, the other thing we got to find is, we've got to get a scar. Some people have, like, emotional scars, but, you know what, I'm real keen to, like, get a cool one, like, on my shoulder, maybe, like a leg scar. Yeah, that'd be good. And then, see how we're going. The magic out here is weird. They did say that it'd be hard. Must be back home, must be the, the elders. They're pretty tight, those guys. Have to be pretty firm on the rules. So I'm pretty keen to come out here and try some different things. We're allowed to do whatever we want out here in the world. Just whatever takes our fancy. And then be ready when we go home to, be all tight like the elders and follow the rules. Be pretty lawful, be good, that sort of thing. Well, it's been nice chatting to you. Come closer. That's alright. Nice and safe by the fire.
Hello, everyone. We are back again with 50% of our power. Unfortunately, Celeste is still kidnapped and Drekig is not breathing. So, there's that. But welcome back to Monsters and Mayhem. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'll use this as a hair braid, whatever it's called. There we go. If you love D&D and you love hanging out with us crazy people, you should join our Discord and play some games with us. Sometimes we play some D&D with people in Discord. Sometimes we play some computer games. Sometimes we just hang out. Sometimes we just cry at the lack of Drekic's character being alive. And other times we look at food or dogs or cats, whatever people want to share. We have a lovely little family community. So if you love D&D and you love someone to hang out with or chat with, join our Discord. And there's plenty of people there who's going to do exactly the same thing. So I think that's the only announcement I have really today. But if you have more dice than orders where your soda is missing, you've come to the right place. Obviously, everyone knows what I had for dinner now. So, what was that? Was that a bot?
Ooh.
We got a bot.
Oh, they changed the interface. I don't know how to.
I think you just click on it. Don't you?
There we go. Yep.
We had like 700 mods and no one saw it.
Duvet just popped up.
It's all good. It's fucking funny. Thank you, Laura in chat, or whoever did take care of that. I'm pretty sure everything works now. So I'm just gonna test this because I'm pretty sure I fixed the fixed. So if I try to do, let's do this one. It's gonna be painful for some people at home. Yeah, I should say that. Yeah, so that works. Just checking that I've done it. I did do it. I did the done thing. Yes.
Why Drekix, man? Why you gotta remind us? Just right there.
Cold world, and somebody's gotta remind people. Anyway, let me put on a little bit of background music.
Make sure that's all active.
If it is loud enough, that should be fine. And a little bit of storm, I think. Hopefully that's not too loud. Yeah. So, the unfortunate encounter that you ended up having a fight with a full-blown pirate ship. You threw some spells, you summoned a whole bunch of dogs, you did a whole bunch of fighting and a lot of damage to both the ship, intentionally, by setting a fire, but also... What do you mean I'm under fire? I'm underwater.
Your voice was like jarbled for a brief moment, but it fixed itself. It was just a...
Fair enough. How appropriate when I'm talking about pirates in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
You did some damage, you fought most of the pirates off, but one of them was a little stronger than the others, and he killed Drekik right in front of you. On top of that, something else happened. The pirate captain, after dying, seemingly got up as a zombie. Why and how? No one knows, but he definitely was, and for a brief moment, Drekik was returned as undead as well. The ship managed to be completely obliterated by Sean's quickful thinking, ? And as their massive ship sunk to the bottom of the ocean and the perpetrator who killed Drekik got away by simply jumping into the ice-cold water, you managed to retrieve Drekik's lifeless body and go back to your own very damaged sloop of a ship. And that's where we'll begin tonight's episode.
I was wrong, by the way. We don't have 12 hit points in our ship. We have 8.
Yes, that's what I thought. But I didn't want to comment on it because, I mean, you never know.
Okay. So, if memory serves correct, we left off. We were on the ship. We dragged Drekik to like a flat spot. I don't remember if it was up by the wheel or if it was down below decks.
I don't think you got that far. I think you just said you got him to the ship. That's what we left off with last time, I think.
Yeah, Jean tried to feed him a health potion, was ripping off his armor, and we had a brief conversation.
Yeah.
Ingwe and I.
And it unfortunately did not work.
Shit.
I think John's going to look up and see what's happening with the other 4 ships. Are they turning to investigate? Anything of that nature?
Make me a perception check.
Okay. I didn't have my dice ready. I'm not prepared. Alright. Perception.
Oh, that was loud.
Boom. Scary. 17.
It doesn't look like they turned around. It looks like they're continuing on the path that they're heading at. You can't see if they even noticed, but there was a very large explosion, so you kind of guess that they probably saw that, but
Yeah.
No one's turning around, and you can't see any other signs of them trying to do anything to turn around or to fight you or anything like that.
Yeah.
As far as
And I
you see.
presume the other ship that we hit, it's basically just debris, or it's either still sinking on fire, or there's just like wooden boards.
So it would be ripped in half because where the gunpowder was located was in the middle of the side. So it would be ripped half, mostly ripped in half, and it's probably sinking, like it's probably already sunk now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Lots of debris around, a lot of pieces of floating wood and some barrels that might have been empty, and some dead bodies slowly sinking to the bottom. But majority of it is pretty much going into the ice cold water now.
Okay. I think we need to get out of here. I think we need to get back to the docks, mount up, and it doesn't look like they're following. If not, I mean, they had to have noticed, but for whatever reason, they seem to just be leaving it be. I think they don't think we made it out of there or something. But we need to get back, and there's stronger magics that can potentially return him, right?
Maybe. You gotta find the right bit. It's pretty hard to return people once they've gone. I definitely can't do it, even with a rest.
Well, we gotta try. We gotta at least see if we can find anyone. I think the ship isn't going to stand much longer out here either. We need to get back to land regardless. Let's try to get our way back at least.
How long is it taking to get here?
I actually don't recall. It was like
where you are now?
Yeah.
2 hours.
I was hanging
Oh,
with
okay.
Vartex.
You are only 2 hours out of the harbor when the shit went down, and it's still a storm all around you. The visibility is pretty shit, but it does open up every now and then with little gaps where you can see those ships heading very far away. They look like they're almost a whole day ahead of you. It does take some time to travel on the sea.
Gotcha.
What about Celeste? How will we know where they're going?
At this point, there's nothing we can do. We go up, we even think about approaching those guys, the ship will sink. I don't even know if it'll make it to them. And then we're stuck out in these frozen waters. Within minutes, we'll probably die out here.
So we're abandoning Celeste.
I mean, not permanently. I don't know. I don't know, Ingwe. I don't know at this point. We tried.
What happened to get? Like I wasn't here. I can't believe that I was sleeping through all of this. What happened to Miss Celeste?
She was taken by, presumably that lot there. Like, we went down. We stopped at a bar. We had a couple drinks when we arrived. We were moving from one thing to the other, and then we finally took a moment to settle, and we realized it was late in the evening. So we figured you'd probably be resting. We left you be with Vartex, and we figured we'd let you out in the morning. And then the following morning, there was no reply from Celeste, and we know it takes a few moments in this, and we went up to investigate, and she seemed to be gone, and we tried contacting her, and a strange voice answered, and seemingly tossed her stone. From the sounds of it, it hit water. I thought maybe the bathtub or something at first, but no, she wasn't in the room. No one else was. So we followed the tracks. We ran as quickly as we could. We got on the ship and we went out chasing after these guys best we could. And then we let you out at the first moment we had time to do so.
I mean, I don't. Okay. I just I hate to break it to you, but I don't know if we're gonna get Trekkie back. And I don't know. Last time we were in that village, they didn't seem like they were in a mood to help us. How far back are we going? Are we going back to?
Well, they're the closest thing. I think we need to move now because the ship's not going to last. If one of those guys turns around, from there at least there's, people there that can help defend in case they come or anything. This is a one step at a time problem, I think. Once we get there, we need to try to find someone to help Drekik if we can.
Okay. Well. Okay. They're getting. How will we know where they're going? How will we find them again?
I mean, we'll have to do what we can. Listen to talk, listen to rumor, just hope that she's alright until we can get to her. I don't know if you've got magics that can track her down or anything.
Some of you also have points of exhaustion.
Yeah.
I think you all have. I think Ingwe has 2. I think Sean has 1.
I only got the one the day prior, and I believe I rested and got rid of it.
Oh, well, you
So
would have fallen into
underneath
the
the
water on the exit.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll for that, or just take a point?
Did you roll for that one as well, Ingwe?
The one on the other.
When
the
you
one
have
coming
into
out.
the water at the very end. I don't think anyone rolled.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't remember, so I can't say.
Maybe. Actually, I don't know. Should we? Let's roll.
Roll a Constitution check, Constitution save, both of you, just in case. So we can.
Sweet. 16.
16. So you would take 5 points of cold damage.
Yep.
But you would not get a point of exhaustion.
It's not disadvantage on the saving throws. Okay, good.
Not yet.
Constitution. Natural 20.
There you go.
I really needed that.
Yeah. 3 points of cold damage, but you do not get another point of exhaustion. That's good. Just checking.
I would have been on 3 disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty because it's so cold. But you're all right. You're a little cold, but it could be worse. And Ingwe got inspired as well.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
I mean, I'm pretty tired, Mr. John, but I don't my magic. Once they get away, my magic doesn't have a way of finding them. So my instinct is to follow and rest. And if they turn around and fight us, to not fight them.
But they outspeed us as well. I mean, this was the smallest ship. And they were able to double our speed.
Yeah, so like, let's if they turn around, let's just swim or walk or like, oh, they just shot the ship last time, didn't they? But surely, like, if we hide on the water, they'll have to come up and don't react to them, or just follow. Just, I don't know.
The weather out here, the water's cold. We wouldn't make it long. Even, I think, on the surface.
Okay.
Water splashing against us.
Yeah.
It was pretty damaged. Bullet
I
holes,
hear what you're saying.
cannon holes. There's a harpoon sticking out.
Yeah. Okay. I just.
I hear what you're saying, but I just don't think. I think if we went there, we'd die, and then that's it. It's,
At least, whoever you asked to borrow the ship from, they must like you enough to let you borrow their ship. So maybe we got one friend.
yeah. Fortunately, they're a couple days away. I don't know if our ship can make it across the ocean, especially if we encounter something like that again.
I thought you said it was 2 hours. We'd been traveling.
Yeah, but we got this ship from the other town. That town where I had that bar fight.
Oh, I missed a whole town. Yeah, sure. Great. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought we were going back to the bar fight town. So, and they all hated us.
No, we got to our location. We were there for only a couple hours before this happened.
So we made it to Itna.
We did make it to Itna, correct.
So you're suggesting we go back to Itna?
I mean, it's the closest location, and
Isn't that where your, father-in-law's from?
yeah, we had a bit of a discussion with him.
Oh, good. Let's go back and see him. I thought we were going back to somewhere where we didn't have allies. Surely your father-in-law will help us.
It's a complicated situation at the moment, but there is a man by the name of Silver Eric who seems to be on our side and seems to be willing to help us. I'm hoping he can possibly aid us.
Yeah, okay. That makes so much more sense. Now I understand the plan. Do you know how to drive this boat?
I mean, I did a little bit on the way here. Just repeat, I guess. Try and mimic what Drekik was doing and what Celeste was doing.
Should we, what should we do with Drekik?
Try to secure him, because if these waves get rough, John's going to pick him up and see, is there like a sleeping, hammock downstairs or something to that effect?
You just did sleep on the floor, but
Okay.
You can put him in something resembling that.
Okay. Is there water slowly leaking in the bottom as well, the downstairs?
A little bit,
Mr.
yeah.
John,
Yeah.
Mr. John, maybe we should put him in with Vartek so that if the ship sinks, then at least he's with me.
Agreed. Smart. Good thinking. Yeah.
But I rather than me staying inside, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
One person is not going to be enough to run this ship, I think. I'll definitely need you out here. And Jean will pull the necklace off of Drekik and pass the thing away.
As you do. Something moves, and you see this black, shadowy, snake-like substance leaking out of Drekik. And as it slowly descends into the air, it looks around, searching, and then darts off into the sky.
As soon as it's looking around, John,
You can try.
try to grab this thing by the neck. What do you want me to do? Strength?
Attack roll, yes.
Okay.
Unarmed attack.
12.
Okay. You don't grab it the way you wanted to, but your finger does pass straight through it, and you can't even feel it. It's like it doesn't even exist, and it just flies off out of your periphery. But you do see that it does fly backwards towards Itna, not towards the mainland.
Yeah.
If it's gonna stay there, or if it's going to continue further east.
This sounds familiar.
We've seen this before, Mr. John. That's what it looked like when Mr. Tam died. No, not
Right.
Mr. Tam. He didn't die. Who died?
When he first passed away, before he came back, something
Was
like
when
that,
he
or-
died. Yeah.
And even earlier with the visions, we saw something somewhat similar, correct? I think you were unconscious and we saw something like that, which we described.
Yeah. and can I check my tattoo?
Yep. Your tattoo is still the way it was before.
Is Drakic's tattoo still there?
No, none of his tattoos are there.
Oh, God, tattoos are gone too. Oh.
Sorry, Drakic, you can't be chosen if you did.
All right, let's get moving. I think the faster we get back, the better. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll take. Hang on a second. I'll open the door and leave it in Mr. John. Oh, you going in, Mr. John? Wait. Before you go, and I will grab his component pouch.
Okay.
I'll talk to. I don't know what's in it specifically, but I'm specifically after the diamonds after that we shared.
Right. So that wouldn't be in his component pouch per se. I mean, in his inventory, I'm pretty sure he has diamonds. Or his component pouch is more the general one.
Yeah. Oh, no. So we talked about it. Like, I imagine I would know because Drakic and I talked about like sharing diamonds. Like, I don't necessarily want to loot the body.
You can definitely find diamonds on his body. I'm just saying that in the component pouch itself, that's more like the generic shit.
Yeah.
Not so much like anything with a value attached to it that wouldn't be in there. Okay. So you look at the right place. Drop him overboard, loot his cups.
Steal his stuff.
Take his shoes.
Oh, he's wearing your armor though, isn't he, John?
Yeah, he's got the plus one armor.
Yeah.
Look at me.
And it's kind of like you can see the armor is like frozen over a little bit. His skin looks fine, but the armor and his clothes is like covered in ice.
Yeah.
The water was freezing.
Gonna make my way in. Just not even say anything to Bartex, just walk by, just look at him, and just slight nod of the head, and then just walk over to a corner, sort of just prop him up, sit him there, try to make him look like he's, in a decent, not just slump over on that, sitting upright a bit.
Oh. I'm sorry, is he gonna be alright?
I don't know if you're able to bring him back.
It's a little bit out of my powers. I mean, there's always a way, but I'm not quite sure you're gonna like it if I bring him back. He's not quite gonna be as perky.
Got it.
Huh. I'm sure that there's ways. I've been resurrected 1,000,000 times myself, so I would be surprised if there's no one else who can help you. I just don't think I'm the right person for the job.
Well, this part, I don't even know if we're the right people for the jobs that we're on now.
John, I don't think that's correct. I think right now you are a little bit giving up on hope because you lost one of your friends. But I can tell you from my perspective, life is long, and in this world of magic, things can change very quickly, both positively and negatively. Stay positive. I'm sure that light will shine upon you somehow.
You know what? Get fucked. I think he's going to turn around and walk out.
Well, I'll just be in here with a dead man and 700 fucking foxes.
Doesn't acknowledge, just walks out,
Yep,
pissy and with an attitude.
All good.
Whoa, it's like left is right and right is left when you try and steer this thing.
Yeah, something like that. Oh,
And then the waves
hang
hit
on.
you. And then it's like
Just going in circles at this point.
sideways. Whoa.
Just immediately trying to help with like the sails, like walks out and it's just like, oh shit, he's on his way. I said this wasn't good for one person, just like trying to pull sails and do whatever he can to try to help.
Right. You can do a survival check, both of you.
Sweet.
This is where it ends.
Survival.
I've rolled 3 10s in a row.
Ooh. Well,
with modifier, that's a 17 technically, but yeah.
15 for me.
15 and 17 is not too bad, like considering the situation. Together, you manage to undo each other's fuckery and go straight instead of round in a circle, and seem to be going in the right direction at least. It is going to take you about 2 hours to get there, maybe even a little longer now that the boat's so damaged, but yeah. For now, you're going in the right direction. You're not taking in as much water as you could fear yet, but for now, you're going in the right direction at least.
Any chance on the trip that I get a short rest?
Yes, I'd say that you can probably both switch around and get a short rest during this period.
Ooh, hit dice.
Yep.
I haven't-
That's too God, but also it's good shit.
I didn't even think about hit dice.
After you both have taken your turn in trying to steer this ship, and you try to have a long rest, have a short rest and try to recover a little bit, you eventually come closer to the docks of Daltonland, where you left not so long ago, just under better conditions and with more crewmates alive. You can still see the whole harbor is filled with different ships. There is all these war machines everywhere that you can see as before. The big ship that was in the harbor before was indeed the Bartholomew, so that one is gone. That was one of the ships you were chasing. See that there's still the Belching Bear in the dock area, which seems to be a little out of place. It seems to be a similar type of ship than the ones you were chasing, but it doesn't look like it had anything to do with them. It looks like it was more like a merchant ship or something similar. And as you enter into the closer proximity of this dock, you can definitely see that there is a few people waiting for you at the docks, and it looks like it's some of these town's guards, if you can call them that. Seems to be keeping an eye on you as you eventually dock your ship. They don't approach you, but they're definitely standing at the end of the dock, just waiting.
As we're pulling in, Sean's gonna get in way. You want to open up the thing again? You pull us in. I'll go get Drekik.
What are the that looks like guards? Are they? What are the people like here? Do I?
It's mixed. I think they'll be a little more forgiving if we have the body of our friend in our hands.
Yeah.
Opposed to it looking like one of us just fled.
Okay. Yeah. What did we steal this boat or something?
No, we were told to stay in town.
Yes.
We get approached. Some shit.
Oh, do you want me to look like Miss Celeste?
No, I think we need to let them know what's happened to Miss Celeste.
Okay. Are they all right with furbolgs?
Imagine so. They didn't have any problems with anyone else, so if they do, we'll just call up Silver Eric.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You go get Mr. Drake.
We'll go back in. Not even look at Bartex this time. Just walk right up, pick up Drekik, walk right out.
Doesn't say a thing this time. He's just sitting there, and you can. I'm not sure if you would pick it up, but you can feel the tension in the air that he wants to say something, but he's not going to.
Well, my passive insight is 13, if that helps.
13?
Yeah.
I thought it was 17.
No, that's my passive perception.
Oh, gotcha.
My passive insight is 13.
I think it's easy enough to pick up that he wants to talk, because he always does.
Yeah, fair.
He doesn't say a thing.
Mr. John, before we get in, and I know this is not really the time you want to be thinking about saving the world, but perhaps securing Drekik's I know it's Drake's weapon, but if we need it, I know in some cultures when someone dies and there's a funeral, you leave them with their weapons. But do you want to claim?
I think we'll worry about that once we get to the point.
Won't they take the body? Won't they investigate?
I'm going to touch without my permission. Which, by the way, as well, his armor would not be on him, correct? Because when we got back to the ship, one of the first things I said was Jean would have taken his armor off. And
True. You're trying to see. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So his sword, I imagine, is still on him, but his armor, Jean would have taken off and probably just put with his belongings for the sake of carrying and that sort of stuff.
I mean, theoretically, if someone goes unconscious and they get dropped into the ocean, I'm pretty sure they would drop what they're holding. But for now, I'll leave it.
Okay.
His sword would be fucked.
Oh yeah.
See at the bottom of the ocean for the next fucking champion to collect.
Yep.
Next quest, underwater.
Under ice cold water. 6 rounds in, we're dead. Oh, we're all dead. Okay, just from the cold alone.
Yeah, because you would never reach the bottom in that place.
Yeah. We'd all have to play White Dragon mods to survive the cold.
Just to get down there.
Alright. I mean, if you want to take it and hold on to it, at least that way they might think it's yours.
Yeah, that's what. Oh yeah, I could take it. That didn't even cross my mind. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm uncomfortable about. Anyway, I'll take it.
Yeah. Just go over, check his shit, make sure that. You know what? Yeah, Sean's gonna. Just in case they try, you're right. We should probably remove any valuables from him. Things that would have meaning to him. And Sean's going to look for his holy symbol as well.
Yeah, I think that's the amulet that you just moved, wasn't it? Oh, no, that's the other one. Yeah. He still has that, yeah.
He's going to take that off, but he's going to hold it in his hand, sort of wrap it around his hand so that it sort of hangs on the exterior. So it's visible, A, by the guards, and B, that it's, and then anything else that looks like it might hold sentimental value or things like that. Maybe he's got a letter on him or something like that. Just going to take that off.
Sure.
Just put it away.
I'll say that anything on his body except for his clothing would have been passed on to you for now.
Cool.
There's a few different things, but I'm sure that you can ask Daniel about that.
I imagine a lot of his shit's also just in his bag, which would be a whole separate thing. Like, there's a bag over there.
Yeah.
Sweet,
We'll take a bag. Yeah. Because I would, we've had a number of conversations about magical resources, and I can't remember the conversations, but Daniel, the player, has tracked all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's all good. We can say that you have taken his items.
Loot the body!
Drop him in the ocean. It's not over now. Keep him cold till you come back.
Do we know what his funeral rites are? Are they similar to?
Well, the good news is that they seem to practice in his religion here, and so if anyone will know, they should know here, just in case we get details wrong. But I believe it's some sort of ceremony, and I would have been reading the Stormlord stuff. Is there anything about the type of ceremonies they do in funerals there? Or...
Yep, he's gonna get burned.
Thought so, yeah, okay, so that's...
That's the funeral.
Yeah.
You get burned.
So coming up to these people, Mr. John, I wasn't here last time.
Yep.
If they arrest you, do you want me to take Mr. Drekic to the temple?
If they do, try find one of the temples and Silver Eric. He seems to be the person we need most here. He seems to understand the circumstances of what we're going through more than anyone else.
Okay.
He's a little kooky, but he's not right, but he's right.
And is there anything that you want me to hold on to for you if we get back there and you're in trouble for leaving when they said you have to stay.
I'm alright. If they try to do anything, and they don't, and they just take me, I'll just give you my bag and my weapons. That's it.
Okay.
Alright, let's pull in. Get up to this dock. So we'll go lay Drakic down on the, like, assuming we've got like a little map table or something like that in the back section. Something to that effect. Or even just a crate. And then, yeah, he'll Ingwe pull in to the docks, toss out the rope, hop off, tie it up, and all that sort of shit before coming back and collecting Drakic.
Yep. Sure thing.
Alright. Sean's going to make sure that the emblem is on the exterior of his hand, throw Drakic over his shoulder, and start walking along the docks.
Okay. And are Ingwe coming with you, or was...
I think I would go ahead and like.
Right.
Hello.
Okay. So you would notice something that you haven't seen before because you were in the amulet last time. So these guards have some mounts with them that are next to them, which are these very white-furred creatures that's standing on their hind legs. They look very similar to, like, let's say, a kangaroo, but instead they have a giant horn coming up in the middle of their head and a smaller horn behind it. And they look a little violent in the way that they look like they've probably been made for, how should I say, combat. And they also have these rolling horns like a ram on the sides. It looks like they've probably been selected because they would be good in a fight. But they look calm. They look very calm to the creatures, to the people holding them, and they're just standing there. They're not showing any aggression.
Hello.
Hello there?
This is the first time I've been here, but we had an accident at sea, and my friend passed.
Right. Sorry to hear that.
I'm Ingwe, by the way.
I'm Holger.
Nice to meet. Nice to meet you.
Are you with this one? And he points to Sean.
Yeah. He's just making the boat. Yeah. I
Right.
came with him.
All right. Well, the Earl would like to see him when applicable, but if you need help sorting out your friend, what do you need?
Well, is there he's dead. Is there someone that can heal people who are dead here?
It's not right something we do in our religion in that sense. We're more when we die we go to Vigard, and that's where we live forever with our gods. So bringing someone back from the dead is not necessarily something that we practice that much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
But if you want to give him a funeral, you can take him to the Archidron Church.
Mr. John, do you know the way?
I think I saw it on the way last time.
Yeah, you would have seen it on the way from the towering balcony of a cliff face. You can see it below. Next to it.
It was one of the bigger buildings, wasn't it?
Yes, it's one of the biggest buildings. It's very close to what looks like a Colosseum covered in snow.
Right. I think I remember. I'm opening the map now just to make sure I get it right. But yes, I think I recall that.
You didn't go that way, but you definitely know where it is because you would have seen that from the Earl Iker's estate.
Yeah.
Good.
John's just going to walk up, holding the thing, and just try see if they part to let him past, or if they remain.
They're not trying to stop you at all. They understand the situation. Do you want us to help you carry him? Like, we have these mounts here.
I got him.
You prefer? Right. Well, this way, and they lead you towards where the church is. You can see another team of these guards take their place at the docks when they start leaving. There's a lot of people living here. Majority of them looks like farmers, but majority of them also have weapons on them for various different reasons. When you pass by the Ting House, which is a place where it seems like there is some representatives of the Earl that are listening to everyone's complaints and issues, and one by one getting some legal advice, if you can say it like that. And as you pass around there, there's a big iron tower to the left of it. And there is the Court of the Gods, which is a fighting coliseum. It's full of ruins and all that kind of stuff. It's very much decked out to be a Viking region. So as soon as you pass around there, you can see this Archidron Church. And this is like it looks like it almost has 7 different levels, this church. The top 5 of them looks like they're probably more visual than they're functional, but it's a very long house type of building, and it's massive, and everything has been carved by hand. It looks like all of the guards on the way around the buildings, forming it and looking down upon whoever comes in. There's no door. There's just an opening that goes into this place, and there's fires everywhere you can see. And then there's a little, not like an altar, but it's like it's kind of like a slab or a table made out of stone in the middle.
Are there sort of several religious figures as well that I'm assuming as we walk by, anyone in that, or?
There's one individual in there who looks like he's a priest or some sort of shaman. It's a little hard to tell with these guys because they are a little intertwined with so many of the gods. But majority of this place is empty. There seems to be just this one individual. And at the back of this region, opposite of the slab, opposite of the entrance, there's this big stone with all these runes carved into it. And above you, you can see the ceiling itself has been carved with all the heads of the gods looking down towards the slab.
I'll just sort of tentatively look at Ingway for a moment, and then sort of slowly start making his way in towards the slab. Sort of gently rest him down, take the amulet carving off his hand and put it back around his neck, centering it on his chest, and just looking over the different religious figures.
So the priestess comes over to you because he has like white long hair, and she has all these different, looks like branches and little pieces of bone just kind of intertwined in her hair. It's kind of almost making like a what's it called, like antlers, almost like antlers. It's just all this like a crown. Everything she's covering is made of natural materials like leather and bones and stuff, and she's like all white and black around the eyes and stuff. Oh, I see that one of our souls returning to Vigar.
Something like that.
He died in battle, slaying many foes.
Sounds like one of ours for sure. Please, leave him on the slab here, and I will have a look at him. Was your friend... Oh, I see his amulet. He was one of ours, indeed.
He was a champion.
Yes, I've heard of this one, I think. Drekik Yorkson, chosen of the gods. Sorry to see him go. Well, there's not much I can do for him in this condition, other than we can prepare his funeral. We don't do much of resurrection. And see in your eyes, that's probably what you're looking for. I just don't have that capability here. It's not part of our religion, so unless you find someone else to bring him back, the story ends here.
I would certainly take your advice on what his wishes would be.
Well, that is a good question. Let's take some of her paint, and she puts some black paint around his eyes and over his forehead and down his nose in the middle. Well, if he's a true believer, which I think he is, he would probably want to stay on the other side, but I could be wrong. But it's not the first time someone has been brought back from our religion, but it's not something that I can do.
I don't. Is there any way to contact him?
We can have a conversation, if you wish. It will take a little bit of preparation.
It comes from his mouth.
What, sorry?
If it comes from his mouth, best way to know what he wants for himself, I guess. I understand the beliefs, and I've been reading about it, but
I
it doesn't
understand.
change what my heart's saying.
We can still reach him. If you want me to. I will ask him.
Does it entail anything that'll harm his chances going through?
No. It won't change anything. Except for what he wants.
I'd be very appreciative if you would organize that, please.
I can do that.
Consult my medium.
Oh,
Please hold.
hang on a second. I can bring him back.
You're the first one in line.
Oh shit.
Are you sure you can?
Maybe I should. Speaking of complicated being a druid, just meditating on whether or not I can speak with the dead.
So she prepares some bones in a little pot and she starts churning it around. She pours them out on top of Drake and starts looking through them, starting to see what it says. Oh, this one's putting them aside one by one, putting them in order.
Secret.
I'd really like to
A
talk
little
to him.
bit this way.
Mr. Tricky. I mean, Mr. John. While we're waiting for her to, I was just thinking about. I wondered if I could speak to Mr. Drickett, and I don't think I can. But so if I waited till tomorrow, I could bring him back. But he wouldn't come back as a dragonborn.
I see. I think I just need some time to read these bones for a second, but reincarnation is what you're referring to, and I don't believe that's part of our religion either, unfortunately.
Yeah, it'd be good to talk to him to see if he wants that, because that'd be weird.
Well, I mean, that's our best option, and he wants to come back.
Let me have a look. She takes the bones again, rattles them in her little pot, throws them on Drekik. It appears that his journey is over. He is on the other side, feasting with the gods right now. It will take a miracle to bring him back, against his will.
Hmm.
Understood.
He was telling me one time while we were drinking that he always wanted to like die in battle.
Oh, sorry, there's another message here.
Oh,
Oh, he says Ran can drink.
Arn can drink. He was a baby last time we saw him.
I think that appears on whoever it is that perceives him. I'm sorry I didn't have different news for you, but for us this is a celebration. This is a time and cause for celebration. He is with the gods, a champion of the gods. On the other side.
Your passive perception is really high, isn't it?
Not as high as yours or Trekix.
Your passive perception's pretty good, though.
Mine's 19.
Yeah, that's what he means.
Yep, cool. Okay. At some point in this, Jean pulled out the prayer book and he's been holding it in his sort of like hand opposite you, and he's just been like rolling it and squeezing it. Like he is trying to remain as calm as possible in every other regard, but he is like clenching the shit out of this prayer book and rolling it in his hands in that, and just trying to sleight of hand to see what's what in his hand. But he's just sitting there, fucking biting his tongue in his teeth.
Not responding when I said I could bring him back.
It's been very light responses, just like, if we can, and then once they said nope, he wants to stay on, he's just started clenching it even tighter. And just,
If you want to, I can prepare his funeral rites. But it is up to you if you want me to do this or if you want to do this.
If you could maybe tell us, if you could instruct us rather than doing it.
Oh,
I
think this is a champion of the gods, so I think the whole city would like to be part of it.
Yeah.
He's a hero. He should be celebrated as such.
So what does that mean? Like tomorrow? Is there like, do we carry him down the street? Like what does that mean?
The normal tradition is that we prepare the body here for the journey, and then he gets carried to the ocean from here. We put him on a ship, and we set fire to it. And as the warmth consumes him, it sends his body to the afterlife. We celebrate. Celebrate his life and his deeds, and all the good things that he has done.
Right. I think it just needs to be done. I've been reading about their faith, and yeah, this is what they believe. This is what they want to do.
I see. I will prepare him for you then, and I will take care of everything. You both need some sleep, it looks like.
Yeah.
And,
The prayer book away.
I will go get something to eat and drink and have some sleep. Tomorrow evening we will celebrate your friend.
Do you know where Silveric is? We'll speak to him first.
Good question. He's most likely in the old garrison, to be honest.
Thank you. And Jean will look for like a donation plate or spot or anything of that nature.
So there isn't like donation plates, but there is the little tables with offerings set up, like animal offerings or food offerings. There is somewhere there's gold and stuff in there. It's not quite like It's not like a donation in that sense. It's more like it's for the gods. It's not like the church uses it for him.
Jean will go there and drop down 20 gold on the table in a thing. Like, not toss it down, but, put it in a little bag or something and just place it down gently.
Yep.
And then start making his way out. Morning, Ray. Let's go speak to this Silveric. I think he'll like you.
Okay.
And off to the garrison, see if we can find Silveric.
So you head off down the streets, and there's plenty of these little iron towers everywhere where it looks like there's some lookouts with crossbows and bows and such, just keeping an eye out. This seems to be like some sort of overwatch system. And as you walk past there, you end up at the Gaze of the Gods, where there's statues of all the different gods made up, and eventually the old garrison, not far off from where the markets are. And the old garrison itself does look like a garrison. It does look like it's a place where soldiers would definitely come and go, but it looks like it hasn't been used like that in a bit. Instead, where all the weapons are mounted on the walls, there's just tankards and cups mounted to the wall. Instead, it looks like this has definitely been reinvented into a place of celebration and drinking. But it is very spacious. It has brick walls, and it keeps you warm from the outside wind for a little bit.
Make our way in, look around, trying to find that wily old man.
Yep. So you can definitely see that he's sitting at the bar. He's telling some stories, it sounds like. And the barkeep is a big half-orc with he's wearing like a shirt with a vest and stuff. He looks very decorated for someone who is in an area like this. He doesn't look like he quite fit in. He looks like he's probably from a place that's a little bit more fancy. He's like a big ponytail in a knot. He's missing one of his teeth, but he has the other one sticking out as his tusks. And you can see Cyril is doing like all these big hand motions, telling these stories and stuff like that. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty quiet in here.
Just gonna slowly make my way towards him and just like someone who doesn't want to interrupt a conversation, sort of politely bow my head in and just tap him on the shoulder and just be like, as soon as you have a moment, if you wouldn't mind, just point down and be
Yes.
very,
Of course. If you go to the corner, my friend, I will come there in 2 seconds. Ooh, that one's furry. Hello. Charming.
Hi.
Hello. This is going to be very interesting. Anyway, so just to continue my story, and then I cast Fireball, and everyone died. Yes. And you can see the orc is like, I thought you told me it was an orphanage. I might have given it messed up. Sorry, it's a different story. Sorry. I'll get back to you. And he runs over to you guys and said, oh, hello. I thought that you left. I saw the little boat scuttle off like a little sea breeze.
yeah, we just got back in not too long ago.
Well, it's probably a good thing considering you were told not to leave. But what do I know? It's rules.
This is our fourth, by the way. This is Ingwe. Ingwe
Nice
is
to
Silveric.
meet you, Mr. Ingwe. I love furbolgs. They are so full of energy and life, and nature itself just seems to spark out of them. I met one once. That's all I remember. I forgot the rest of the story.
Sounds like you tell good stories.
Sometimes when I remember the punchline. It comes to me at midnight. I always connect the dots. I don't have anything to write on.
Well, I'll have to wait around till midnight then.
Yes. We should drink?
Sure, at some point. I think we need to let you know that Drekik's dead.
Oh. I am sorry and happy to hear that at the same time. I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm happy for his honor.
He went out swinging, that's for sure, so...
He did strike me as the kind of guy who doesn't do anything half.
Yeah.
What happened, if you do not mind asking? They're telling me. I saw you like a few hours ago.
Well, are you familiar with the Bartholomew that was parked out there?
Oh yeah, big ship, big captain, big crew. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems, best we could tell, that someone involved with that ship, that crew, took Celeste.
Oh.
So we went after them,
Hmm.
thinking that speed would be our advantage.
I see.
We caught up, one of their ships turned around and engaged us. While we managed to take it down, unfortunately, it cost the life of one of our friends and nearly took our ship down in the process, too.
That is complicated. I'm sorry to hear that. That's. I mean, you're lucky to be alive, you two. You went up against a ship with that little dinghy of yours. I'm impressed.
Oh, we can thank Drekik for that.
I'm sure
Raining
that we
down
will. If
hell
he's,
from above.
I will put him in my brain, and I will pray to our gods for him to have a full belly for the rest of his existence up there. Or wherever it is. I'm sure if it's up or down, or I don't quite know. One day, maybe I'll find out. I see.
Well, at this point, I don't know what to do. Our friend is still out there. The other's here to be honored tomorrow. We have no way of getting back to her, not with the force that will be able to do anything.
I see. Give me a moment. He pulls out a little book. It looks like it's probably like this size. It's like tiny. He takes these little glasses and puts them on his eyes. I'm getting older, and this is getting more and more tricky, but he starts going through the book. All right. And you can see that this book is full of maps, but they're not very big, so it's obviously like a little pocket-sized version of these maps. Which way were they going?
Southwest, wasn't it?
Mhm.
I think, yeah.
More northwest, really, but yeah.
Northwest, sorry. Okay. They were about 2 hours out northwest, maybe a day out somewhere.
Right. Well, from my calculations, there's not a lot that direction. I'm guessing they probably wouldn't be heading for Okrolan. Interesting. Wait, how does these individuals look? Is there any discernible features or anything that I can use to try to remember?
I mean, the ones we came up against were a bunch of scrappy pirate-looking folk. There was a big captain and a rougher-looking first mate. It was quick. Captain was covered in those boomsticks.
Hey,
Oh, right.
like this. And I'll turn into the first mate.
Ooh, that's impressive. Doesn't look like that clothes is very warm, though. In fact, it looks a little skimpy. Let me see. Where have I gone? Give me a moment. Was there anything specific on any of them that I could use to maybe track them?
Wait,
is this one of them who attacked you who got away?
Yeah.
It's the only one that got away.
Okay. Excuse me, I just need some spell components. And he walks over to the bar and he comes back with a giant tanker of ale. I just need to prepare for a second. And he just continues to drink, not letting it down, and then he puts it down empty. Sorry. This helps me. Right. They're definitely going northwest. Going somewhere. They have the intention of going somewhere warm. I think I know where they're going.
Oh,
Have you ever heard of Dragonthorn?
Dragon Dawn.
Dragonthorn. I've been there a few times. It's a bit of a shady little place, but, you know, that's where I thrive.
Anyway, like shaking my head.
Well,
No.
let's just say that it's a place where pirates rule and there's no laws except their own. It's one of the
Good.
most dangerous places. Yeah, one of the most dangerous places in the areas that I have been to. Just simply because so many people who hate each other. My guess is they would be going in that direction. It seems they're going somewhere warm. Well, I tend to, at least.
All right. So you're saying there's a whole town of these bastards, basically.
Oh, there's an whole island.
Even better. Great. Well, I appreciate the information. That'll definitely come in use.
There's a few things to keep in mind if your friend has been taken there. They have not killed her yet. They didn't take her with them while she was dead. So she must be alive for a reason. And usually what I know is happening here is people go there to get sent to court. And if they are found guilty of something, they are hung.
So she's likely not dead. I was thinking the same because there's no reason to take a body
No.
of someone you don't care about.
No, I don't think so.
But
That
what you're
means-
saying is there's a sort of time restraint as to when she could be.
Well, I think that comes down to how long it takes for them to get there and how long it takes for the court to adjourn. But my guess is they would be taking her to the court of the sea. It's in Pelican Bay, but the biggest problem you have is finding a captain who can navigate the right waters around there. It's filled with the destroyed corpses of ships and reefs, all masquerading as one or the other. Only captains who have been there will know how to get there.
Mm.
If not, you most likely will crash your ship into something. And yes, there's little towers made out of the corpses of these ships. It's very morbid, where they have cannons pointing towards ships that approach. And if you look like you don't belong, soon you'll become part of the ripe.
But what about that that dancing bear ship that we saw in the harbour? Is that
Oh, the Belching Boar?
Oh, okay. Yep. Is that the one that was still there?
Yeah, it's still there for now. I think the Earl has hired them. The captain, at least.
Then for what?
I am not quite sure yet. I think that he wanted a larger ship to transport things around the island. I don't think that's quite what their job normally entails, but I think that's what he's hired them for. I don't know the full details. I don't care that much about what the Earl really does. It's not that important. It doesn't have any significance to anything else than himself. Thanks.
We gotta head to the Earl anyways in a bit. He wants to see us or not. I think we'll cause more trouble ignoring him than seeing him.
Potentially.
You seem surprised about something anyway. What? Never mind.
You knew that we needed to go to the Earl. I was just gonna pass on the message, but you must have heard it. That we needed to go see the Earl. You don't seem excited about this.
Like I said, the relationship is complex. I'll explain on the way.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll be seeing you around for sure. You don't happen to have a captain you'd recommend for something like this, would you?
I can look around. I don't have one off the top of my head, but there's a few people I know who's dying to get out of here, so potentially some of those would be able to assist you.
Or we can take someone on our ship.
Well, I mean, I don't know if your ship is going anywhere anytime soon, my friend, but potentially there's ways. One of them involves crime, one of them involves not crime. I always favor crime, but that's just me.
Is there any other way there? Like if it's a dragon stone, maybe we could be like find some dragons that are flying that way.
I think you have better luck trying going through the water than finding a dragon to take you anywhere.
That's true.
I've tried many times. It's always gotten really close to me dying.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, if you can find the right one, of course. Anything is possible in this world of fate. Let me see what I can do. I might be able to find you a ship.
Thank you. It'd be much
And maybe I
appreciated.
can find you a crew.
We'll go speak
Maybe.
to the Earl in the meantime. And
I
see
have
what
an
we can
idea.
get.
Yes, I have idea. I will be. I will meet you later. Are your friend getting buried, or is he getting? Is there a ceremony for your friend?
I believe he's going to be taken care of by the Archidron Church, put up for a proper sort of ceremony.
Right.
Hire
When does
and all
this
that.
happen?
Tomorrow evening.
Perfect. That is perfect. Yes,
Alright.
this is gonna work out great. I will get back to you. I already have a plan. See you, my friends. And he
Shut
darts off really, really quickly, almost like
Oh.
he's flying.
I'll just like shake his hand with like a coin in his
He's
palm. Just make his way over to the bar.
Nice fellow.
Eric, you didn't pay for your beer. Oh, not again.
This is for his spell component, so to speak.
No, he's gotta learn. He's gotta learn. You can't keep paying for him. Everyone keeps paying for him. He's gotta learn that things cost money.
Well, I'm just gonna leave that there, and if you don't want it,
I never saw it. And he puts it.
Puts a gold coin in. Yeah.
Damn weirdos.
Right. Yeah. I guess that worked out better than expected. I wasn't expecting to get any answers about potential of what would be happening with Celeste. I told you he's a wily old man, but he's got a mind on him and connections that seem to reach longer than, I don't know, something that reaches real long.
Well, Mr. Eric's gone. I remembered something that then Miss Celeste always used to say, that I shouldn't say things in front of people, particularly ones that can do magic with beer. I know that we're very wrapped up in that plight of our friends. But if we're leaving this place, weren't we coming here for a reason to like find a hammer?
Yeah.
And do we still need to do that before we go, or think about that before we go, or are we just gonna go and come back?
Well, I think right now is a priority of getting
To Miss
us back
Celeste.
together. Yeah. I mean, you've seen what we've been through with this stuff, right? And anytime we go through some wild shit, I mean, last time a freaking volcano went off, wiped out a huge area. I think
true.
the less of us there are, the riskier these challenges will be. Our numbers are greater. I think we'll be able to tackle them. with,
And last time, well, and we saw that the tattoo head off this way. Do you think we should maybe see if we can figure out where the tattoo ended up?
yeah, I mean, we can have a look, but Just because it headed this direction doesn't mean it's here. I mean, the likelihood and the number of people across this plane, who knows where else it could have gone. But I'll tell you what, I have an idea of how we can draw someone out. It'll have to be tomorrow night.
Yeah, when everyone's watching. Yeah, that'd be smart. You know the if we can be involved in the ceremony, do we want to make our tattoos quite obvious, so you want someone to find us rather than us find them? Oh yeah, that's smart.
I think when there's lots of people about, if we get them out, so to speak, if someone does have it, it'll draw the attention, or if someone knows someone who has it, draw their attention.
Yeah, cool. Oh, anyway, sorry. And I turned back into Ingwe from the family part.
Yeah.
Was there major reactions from anyone in the bar while I was first matey dude?
No. No one seemed to react. There wasn't a lot of people in there, but no one seemed to even bat an eye.
Alright, shall we head to the Earl? I'll tell you all about this wonderful relationship we've had lately. Ugh. Let's head. Let's start walking out.
Okay. So just to explain this to Ingwe, who wasn't there, you end up walking up this gaze of the gods, which is this street where all these statues are. And then you walk into this, it's almost like a roundish room that leads onto the Vigard Bridge. And as you go over this hanging bridge, you go upwards. This part of this city is built on a massive cliff at the backside of this city. And walking up here, you can see all these statues of, looks like Valkyries and such. They're all carved as by stone everywhere. It looks like they're watching over this city. And in between them, you see hanging, crucified orcs everywhere. Some of them still alive, just being punished, put on the wall everywhere for display. Some of them been there for weeks. Some of them have maybe just been put up. Looks like this is how they punish the raiders from the Blood Renderer. As you walk up across this, you also see this endless display of war machines everywhere to display. If anyone tries to take this harbor, it will be worse for them than they thought. They walk down this very long palisades where all these, it looks like the majority of these houses are a little bit bigger than the rest of them. And eventually you get to a humble but larger estate, which is the Iker estate. And there is a few individuals around that are kind of just doing some maintenance and doing some garden work and stuff. But there isn't like it's not like you're used to from Sean's sister, where there's like servants everywhere. It's there's a few, but not in the sense that they look like they're servants. They look like they just kind of live there.
So on that track as we were walking along, John would have basically explained the circumstance with him and Torgia. Yeah, so I mean, we first met back in I've completely blanked on the city now. What is it?
Luxembourg?
Luxembourg, that's it. And for some reason my mind was like, it starts with an S. No, Lock and then Siebel.
I remember you were being really weird about it. That was one of those secrets that I got upset about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who you met.
Well, I met him and my wife when I was living in town there for a while, and you know, once I got to know her better, he was a grumpy bastard who didn't let anyone in, but I guess I'm not much different at first. And eventually we actually got along really well. Especially after the disappearance of my father, he sort of came to be another father-like figure in my life.
Oh, yeah?
And eventually he couldn't take the bullshit that was going on in town. He, very much like me, just wanted to be on his own or back with these people, back the lifestyle that he enjoyed. He wasn't really digging Lost Steeple, at least from what I understood of it. And he returned here to Itna. Now, the whole fact that he's an earl, I have no idea about. Was under the impression that he was simply a blacksmith, but perhaps he was, an earl all along and just didn't want to mention it, or I don't know what. But long story short, I didn't exactly tell him when his daughter passed away. Not immediately.
Hmm.
My daughter
Does he know that she's like with the thing?
Not the specifics, but he's aware that her spirit is not completely over in their system, their lands. But he doesn't want her back. He wants her to pass on.
Oh.
And I told him that there's a way to get her back, and that if she's not across there, she's not across there anyway. So, their religion is not being fulfilled. Their beliefs. She's trapped somewhere.
Yeah. Her soul was taken, not. She didn't die. Did she die in combat originally, or?
I mean, it's hard to what you'd consider what, right?
Yeah, true.
Fleeing for our lives from the undead. She was bitten, changed in the woods. And then her undead form was killed by something else. I don't know what point there was a crossover or what actual death is considered, but I don't know.
And is he okay with that explanation, or is he?
Not exactly. He seems hesitant. It seems that the fact that Drekik was the champion of the gods was one of the few things that got us through. For him to leave us be in this town, so to speak, without trying to get us sent back to where we came from.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I have the mark of a chosen as well, and that seemed to veer him away as well. But now with Drekik gone, I don't know how this is going to turn out. So we just need to be wary. And hopefully he's sort of had time to think about it and understands that his wife's not in Vigar. That his daughter's not in Vigar. And what we're doing is trying to help regardless, so.
That's tough. That's a really hard one.
Beliefs versus morals. Personal opinions and grudges. Let's see what he wants. Sure, it'll be quick. I'll brush the door, knock on the door.
After a few seconds, the door opens, and one of these servants that you've seen before, a half-elven woman, she opens the door. Oh, you've been expected. You're late. She opens the door fully and extends her hand to show that you can enter. And she's pointing towards the direction of the dining room table that you had eaten at before, the room at least.
Yeah.
Which is a separate room to the entry hall.
Make my way in.
First thing you notice is that in the hallway there's a lot of men. There's a lot of guards with different garbs and stuff. They're just kind of loitering in the hallways. For some reason. You open the door, and you are surprised. There is a few other people in this room this time, and where the Earl was sitting before on his hand-carved chair, there is now an elderly woman wearing an iron crown. And at the table are a few extra individuals that you have seen before, and the Earl is standing up on the opposite end of the table as he heard you enter. In total, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other individuals sitting in there, including this woman wearing a crown, who's sitting down. Everyone else stands up as you enter. And the Earl Tokia Iker, goes over and takes you by the hand and leads you to the end of the table to sit down and says, "Just follow my lead." And then he gives you a little squeeze on the shoulders. And he stands behind you. This is Queen Marilav Oathbringer, Queen of Itna. And this is Earl Emma Magnusir, Earl Hakan Utsvisan, Earl Jorgen the Red Valgrid, and Valan Omer. And myself.
Definitely going to need that list at another point.
Perfect, fine. That's all these names. We are all gathered here today for a few different reasons. One of them is that my daughter has been taken from this life, but she's not quite dead. So me and my son-in-law is here to plead that she is brought back. Because she's not quite dead. And you can see that he takes a step back and he stops talking.
It's true. I've seen her spirit, spoken to it. She's reached out to me. And she even seems to have some idea of who might be holding her spirit or soul in whatever sense of limbo that it's in.
I saw her too. She fought with us in battle. Thanks.
The woman speaks. I understand that sometimes it seems like our loved ones are still with us, in more than just spirit. But it is not our ways to bring individuals back from the dead, even if they linger. I think that you two are too involved in this to see clearly. You are not from our religion, and Earl Iker should know better than to bring this before the council. Why do you believe that we should bring her back if she is indeed no longer with us?
She's not in Vigar either. She's caught somewhere in between. A plane that seems to hold her in a state of unrest. I've come to read of your beliefs and learn of them. We've just had a friend of ours who belongs to your religious group, and he has passed. And we bit our tongues, and we'll be leaving him to pass on as your belief system sees fit. The ceremony will be tomorrow. So at this point, I simply want what I believe is best for her. We have a way, at least part of a way of bringing her back, but I know even less of a way of sending her through to Vigar at this point. She's in an unreachable place.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
What was the other roll?
The other roll was I think it was a 5 total.
5. Okay. So you begin saying this, and you can see that she's already shut off from what you're saying to begin with, and she's just waiting for you to be done talking so she can say no. But then something happens that is not expected from any of you, as suddenly you hear a large thunk, and you see your wife, clear as day, standing in the room with a sword halfway through the table. She looks pale, white almost, with black around her eyes, and she looks straight into the eyes of this queen and says, "I am not dead." And everyone goes for their weapons, for realizing that she's just standing there. Interesting. You are not quite alive either. She looks to one of the others and she starts whispering something in his ear. Zarethia looks at you, Sean. And she looks at her father. And you can see that he nods. And then she starts, almost like paper, kind of vaporizing in the air. You can see that she's almost releasing all the tension she had. Like it looks like it's getting harder and harder for her to hold her forms. And she breaks into this little dust across the room. Well, that's definitely a bit of shock, but also I guess that settles the point. If you wish to bring her back, you are allowed to do so.
Thank you.
Second point of order. You would like to go to one of our holy sites.
Yes.
May I ask why?
It's a long and complex story, but primarily it is to serve the purpose of finding a particular artifact, something we are after that will hopefully help us in opening the gates that will allow her to return, as well as a few other things.
Would it be relevant to let them know the gods told us to?
So yeah.
Like their gods? Remember when we spoke to them? I mean, it wasn't really them, it was their friends. But they were there. You know,
my associate's absolutely correct. We've spoken to the gods. We've met them. And John will start removing his garbs and that to get down to show the tattoo. I mean, I was at the table with the Stormlord briefly, and I was given this. We sat across from many of them. We were taken to another realm. They gave us these and go look for one of the loose pamphlets, pull them out and hand it over.
Oh yes, I've heard of these individuals. It's complicated. It's a very holy site for us, but you are a champion of our gods, which is ironic considering you do not exist in our culture until now. If you have a guide with you, we might allow it. Maybe Earl Ica can finally earn his newfound position. It is dangerous, though. Kachiran is not a place you go into lightly. The place was once kept in bay. The place we keep our holy relic is guarded by monsters. But once it was not guarded by monsters, but guarded by our people. We had a way of keeping them at bay. But over time, it got harder and harder to find the resources needed to keep them at bay. So currently, these serpents control the inner sanctum. And we got the outskirts. That's what the serpent guards are for. We have a temple outside this door. They don't have much function anymore, unfortunately, because without their resources, it's not longer possible. These creatures are indestructible without the right type of magic. But I suggest that that's something that Earl Iker can inform you of in details whenever you leave. I must say that it's been a long time since anyone yelled at me, so I will go and get a drink now. Have a nice afternoon. She gets up,
Thank you.
bows, and she leaves. And you can hear probably 20 of the guards just walking off with her as she leaves. One by one, the other earls get up and they bow to you and to Ingwe and to the other earl. And one by one, they all filter out. You feel a hand on your shoulder again, Sean. I am sorry. I was too hard on you. I forgot you lost her too.
Sean will just turn around, stand up, and pull him in for a hug.
Gives you a hug, but you can also feel a few tears coming down his cheek. She visited me last night too. And I understand now. I'm sorry.
You
I'm
don't
so
need to
sorry.
apologize. I understand. Look, we're getting her back. Don't you worry, she will be back. I have my family looking after the thing that will help us return her to this world. In Kronos. We're currently residing in Kronos with what is needed. So if you want to send anyone there or go yourself, they know who you are. Especially my sister. They will help you.
I trust your family. I trust you. Sorry I haven't been myself since she passed. I just couldn't get the visage of her dying out of my head. And it's not right to blame you. You just did what you could. Your son is still alive, so obviously you were still doing the right thing. I haven't apologized for anything in years, and I feel a little lightheaded, so I might go and get something to drink too. Anything you need, let me know. I will be getting drunk at the inn.
Pull him in for one more hug. Squeeze tight.
Gives you another pat on your shoulder and hugs you.
I'll be here.
If you need to sleep or anything, you can put my name forth anywhere and they will let you in.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go apologize to the Queen. In a way.
See you around. Earl. It'll take some getting used to calling you that, friend.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
And he walks off.
So give him a moment to leave.
Just you two alone in the big dining room.
Well, that did not go how expected, but glad to see him back to his old self.
I would really like to hear the story one day about how he became an earl.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting story.
Must have done something good when he came back, yo.
Seems like an interesting fellow.
Yeah, he is.
Your wife must have been interesting too. I'm really looking forward to, sitting down, not being so rushed all the time, and farm somewhere and just hear stories.
I think she'd really like you.
It just feels. I'm just so tired. Of all the racing.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. I think it's an early night for us tonight. I think we need to go find somewhere to rest now. Put our heads down and ready for whatever's coming tomorrow.
Do we need to find that? She mentioned some. She mentioned something about Earl, helping us. Do we need to see him before we turn in?
The guy who's going to come along with us, the scout,
Yeah.
I mean, sure they'll figure it out and bring it to us.
You just talk to him. That's Earl Ica.
Earl Ica.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, he'll get someone and I'm sure just come and find us, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. Find somewhere to sleep. And John will show Ingwe the way back to... What was the name of the... Was it the garrison? That was the place we actually
Singing
stayed?
Fist was where you actually stayed, and
Singing
you
Fist,
got kidnapped. And the old garrison was where you just were for drinks.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. I'll guide Ingwe back to the Singing Fist.
Yep.
Go in, and John will explicitly not use the Earl's name because he doesn't like relying on people.
Fair.
That sort of thing. So he'll go up and just... I need another room, 2 beds, or 2 rooms, whatever you got.
Right, you can get 2 rooms for 1 gold.
Done. Pass the gold over.
What?
You guys usually pick up a bit around times of big events and whatnot.
Yeah, usually that happens. You get a lot of drinking in the streets and stuff. What happens? They come in here, buy it, and walk off.
All right. Well, I might see you tomorrow. I think something's being organized. Probably want to stock up on whatever you need.
Yeah, I heard there was a big event coming, so yeah, we'll get ready.
Well, thank you, friend. I'm heading straight up anyway. I'll see you in the morning.
Way ahead of you. Or behind you, because I'm moving really slowly.
Bed.
So each of you go to your rooms, and you lock the door, and you go in for a nice long rest. And you do both get a long rest. You can click the buttons, and when I said that, we will also have a short rest by a little break.
Yeah.
Holding all the tears. And we'll be right back after a short little break. See you.
See you soon, friends. Woo! Hopefully.
hi! Sorry, I totally didn't see you there. I was too busy hanging out in our Monsters of Mayhem Discord server. Hi, I'm Laura, your friendly neighborhood gremlin, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Monsters of Mayhem Discord server. Monsters Mayhem Discord server can be found by typing !Discord over in the chat. Over at the Discord, we do cool things, like tonight's one shot. That's right, the cast from today's one shot were plucked from our Discord like an orphan off the street. So if you want to come and hang out and play Dungeons & Dragons, come do that. We also have not streamed one shots if you don't want to be broadcasted to the entire internet. We also do that as well. Our mods run kind of one-shots and things like that. Or maybe you're looking for people to play your home game, or looking to form a group of players. Come do that as well. You can poach awesome D&D players from our Discord server. We allow poaching, which is really cool. Or maybe you're a gremlin, like me, who stays up way too late looking at the subtly glowing white screen, trying to finish quests in video games, and you are just left counting down the hours until you have to wake up in the morning, just constantly glancing at the clock and trying desperately to finish that quest before the timer runs out, and then you wonder why you're always tired because you stay up until the sunlight starts creeping through the window. If that's the case, we also have games nights every Tuesday. Come along and play group games with us. You also have the chance to win cool prizes, which is really cool, just for showing up. We have like a leaderboard, and if you show up, you get put directly on the leaderboard. And then if you're a pleasure to play with, or if you win the game, you get points. And those points count towards winning prizes, which is really cool. Or maybe you like dogs, and cats, and reptiles, and llamas. I'm totally serious about the llamas. That's the thing. We have really cool photos of those all up on our Discord channel too. So come look at those. And food. Who doesn't like food? We have lots of photos of food. So if you like recipe ideas, come and hang out and look at those. And we also celebrate birthdays. If it's your birthday, we'll be like, it's your birthday! You're awesome! We love you! So come and do that on our Discord channel as well. Or do you like dice? Can I tempt you with dice, maybe? We have this innate urge inside all of us as Dungeons & Dragons players or tabletop RPG players to collect dice and hoard them up like a dragon. And we post photos of those hoards and really pretty dice and links to where you can buy them if you want to strain your bank account. So come do that if you want to be tempted to blow your life savings. Maybe you play Dungeons & Dragons and have a really cool character concept, or tabletop RPG, really cool character concepts, and you want to share those character concepts with people who will totally nerd out with you about those. Come do that. Or maybe you have a home game and you have this really cool plot point that you want to talk about. Come do that. We really want to hear those stories as well. Just don't let Tom hear any of them because we don't want to give him any ideas, because for reasons. So yeah. Come hang out in the Discord server. Lots of really cool people. We're all really friendly, and if you're not friendly, you get a ban. So it's moderated, it's really active. Come hang out with us. We really want to hang out with you. So yeah, do that. Hang out with us. That's it. That's the ad. That's all I have to talk about. I mean, I can keep talking if you want me to. Do you want me to keep talking? I can. What can I talk about? I can talk about that. Oh, that weird growth that I found living under our kitchen sink. That's a cool story. Oh, or I can tell you the story about how Tom found rats and they were like stealing his forks, which is apparently a true story. Like the fork thief. That's really cool. Or I could talk about the time in the campaign where we realized that the big bad evil guy all along was actually this guy named...
Monsters in Mayhem is sponsored by Miniporium.net, a huge selection of highly detailed miniatures for any tabletop role-playing game. Check out the beautiful miniatures, and if you use the code MAYHEM, all capital letters, at checkout, then you receive a 30% discount.
The following ad read was written by artificial intelligence, also known as AI. We here at Monsters and Mayhem do not endorse any outlandish or nonsensical statements as written by this robot, but we hope you enjoy nonetheless. Hi there. Do you love Dungeons and Dragons? We do too, what a coincidence. That's why we created Monsters and Mayhem, the Twitch channel for all of your tabletop RPG needs. Our campaigns are sure to get your heart racing, and our other content is sure to keep you entertained for hours on end. So come and join us today. Do you have what it takes to be a monster? Subscribe to our Twitch channel to share the love and gain eternal power and immortality. With new videos every week, you'll be able to learn everything there is to know about being a monster. We've got you covered, so come over and join the mayhem. It's been a blast exploring all the gory details of monster mythology with you. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you want to keep the fun going, you can use your Amazon Prime account to get a free subscription to our channel, or become a hero and gift a sub to another follower. Thank you for staying tuned, and until next time, stay scared!
Back once again, once the cameras want to focus. Nope. Mine's just given up on life and just doesn't want to. Anyway, there we go. I think we're back. So, you have a wonderful long rest. I think we lost it anyway. What happened there?
Oh,
Why did his camera fall off? The
I'm
heck?
still here.
That
Can you
is
hear
so
me?
weird.
yeah, I can hear you and see you on this side. I think it's on the stream side.
That's good. I can keep eating.
There you go. That's weird. Now you're back on. That's odd. I have to turn it off and on again. Welcome to Tech Support 101.
Nah, allergy.
I spent 2 years of my life just doing that. All right. So, welcome back after a short little break. So, you all have a long rest and you wake up. This would be next morning. I say that you're exhausted and you probably sleep a little extra this time because you can and you have a bed. So, I'd say that you probably wake up around 12-ish, about noon.
Oh,
And-
does that mean I'm not exhausted anymore?
You lost 1 point of exhaustion. You both did.
Woo! I didn't have any. I managed to avoid them this
Real
time.
lucky.
Yeah.
As you wake up in the morning, you can hear that there's a lot of people outside that seems to be moving around, doing things. There's some people singing. There's a lot of joyful note in the air.
Yep. Seems they're getting ready for the whole shebang tonight. We should probably get our shit together, go down to see if they need a hand, maybe, or what. But
Yeah.
we can go past the Earl. Things have been organized. Yep.
Will we be part of it? Wait, or will we be excluded? Do you know?
I mean, I'm sure. I think they're gonna get the whole town involved. Just depends on how much. I guess they want us. We can go speak to the. I don't think I got her name, but the lady. From the Akadron church. See if she needs a hand. If she wants us to be involved in any part of it directly. Yeah, let's head on that way, I guess. We'll go see if they need us for anything.
As you exit, walk onto the streets, you see all these people who are dressed in. Some of them are painted black and white, like with ash, that kind of color on their face. And some are more joyful with more colors on their clothing. And some of them are making baskets. And Looks like people are preparing some offerings for the gods and such. Looks like the whole city is turned upside down, and it's just everywhere, pretty much. So I'm not sure where you specifically wanted to go. If you wanted to go to the church or what your plan is.
Jean was suggesting to go to the church to find the lady who was organizing the preparations.
Right.
So
Okay.
mostly keeping an eye for her, but heading to the church to find her.
Yes. Oh, good. So you head towards the church once again, and you see on the way that there's more of these seers or these priestesses and priests that seems to be instructing other people what to do and what they should gather and how they should do this and stuff like that. Just kind of guiding people through the ceremony, it seems. And as you arrive at the church, it's full of people. There's a whole bunch of different people there, and you notice that they have something which is covered in a sheet that is in the church now that wasn't there before. It's something covered in a sheet that's standing between where the slab was and where the big stone was, but you can't see what that is. It's kind of covered and protected. You can see the Drekik's form is still laying underneath the sheet on the slab as well. But there's some offerings that's been placed on the sheet. And where you left your money earlier, that whole area is just full of flowers and animals and different types of offerings to the gods that has overnight literally exploded tenfold. It's almost like they don't have enough room for all of these. It seems like a lot of people, they knew that Champion of the Gods has passed and that they wanted to contribute. And as you come in, she sees you again and she's like, "You've come back. I'm glad to see you have gotten some rest. Looks like you got some more color in your skin, Mr. Furbolg. That is good news. I hope that the meeting with the Earl went all right. Silver Eric informed me that he wanted you to wait at the docks for him when the ceremony is over. Whatever that means."
Well, we came in the meantime to see if you needed a hand, if there was anything we could do. I don't know if anyone in town knew Drekik. We traveled with him.
I don't think he was local from this area. I think he was from Okrolan, as far as I can gather from his name. His father is another chosen one of the gods.
Correct.
And I'm not sure about the rest of his family, but we have informed the Earl Yorkson of his passing son.
Yeah.
So I think they will do a similar ceremony on their end. If I'm not sure, he's a tricky man to read. I've seen him once, but yes, it's a little bit outside of my pay grade.
If the deceased is to be believed, he's a bit of a... I let us swear in the church.
Go for it. The gods love a good laugh.
From what I hear, he's a bit of an asshole.
Yes, that is to put it mildly. What I saw was a bit entitled. Maybe one day we'll figure out what that's all about. But yeah.
I'm hoping this will have him pull his head out of his ass and realize what's going on. So
Maybe. The gods will show us the way, one way or another, even if it's not the way that we intend.
So I'm learning.
Our preparations here are almost complete. It's just going to take a little time. I'm not sure that you want to weave baskets, but I think that you being here is more than enough.
Do you, do you perform the ceremony with them dressed in their combat gear? The time we removed the armor from him, we have his blade and shield.
No, we will transfer him as he is here in his clothing to the ship. We will give him a sword, of course, but if you want to leave one with him, you can, of course.
there's the sword that he completed a challenge for the gods for, but I don't know if even for your culture, if you want it out or burnt or whatever may come of it.
Can I see it?
Uh, uh, I know, yeah, okay.
This is very impressive. This is indeed the sword of the gods. I probably wouldn't leave that with him if he's going to be burned. It would just sink to the bottom of the sea. Maybe there's a better way for this sword to find purpose.
Right. We'll hang on to it then.
If you want to. If not, I can make part of this church.
I really miss having Miss Celeste around. Mr. John,
Yeah.
the sword is quite important. That
Yeah.
we have it for the mission for the good work of the gods that we're doing, that they asked us to do.
I know. We'll hang on to it for now. I think you would have wanted us maybe to use it to fulfill what we were doing. And then, once everything's complete, maybe we'll consider bringing it in here.
Yeah.
Once you
you
have
hold on to it.
completed what you're doing, you can bring it back here and we can add it to our religion, and to our belief once again.
Yeah. I think that seems fair and appropriate.
Very well.
Yeah. Give it. Yeah, you can give it back to Mr. John. He can hold on to it.
Sure. Attached to his belt.
We can give him a temporary sword to symbolize his fighting will. Our ceremony will start very shortly. If you want to have the best experience and the best view, I'd say stay close to the church. It might be maybe an hour or so before we begin.
All right.
But you won't miss it, believe me.
Trying to sort of pause for a moment and look. Is it customary for him to only bring one weapon?
We can put multiple. As many as you want.
Sean will reach down and grab his non-magical hand axe, pull it out, and swing the handle over. If you wouldn't mind.
Of course. She puts it in his hands.
Thank you. That means a lot.
I'm sure he will need it on the other side.
Funny thing is, I don't think he'll need it.
Well, I think you haven't read enough about those stories yet, then. That's where
Fair
your
enough.
fight begins. For now, get some rest and get some more to drink, maybe, and get ready, and we will commence shortly.
Yeah. You think we got enough time to go see Silveric at the docks?
I'm not sure if he's there yet. He said to wait there after the ceremony.
My apologies.
But you can try if you want.
No, I think we'll stand. We'll meet him after. You're right.
Very well. She starts sweeping the floor.
Yeah.
Mr. John, if we're going to this pirate place, it seemed like it was warm, but if we're going back into the ocean, is there some sort of way that we can stop from getting so harmed by the cold? Do you know anything that we could prepare for another boat journey?
Not particularly here, but Silver Eric's trying to organize that side of things. Maybe he'll know. He'll have a better idea. Someone. Maybe this captain he's trying to organize might even have some gear that'll help with the cold. Um,
Yeah, okay. What are we going to do for the rest of the day before the ceremony? Hey, actually, we should take some time to sit down with and pass the read around.
sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to follow you for the day until shit kicks off. So whatever you want to do, if you want to go check some shit out, I'll be right on your tail.
So you had about an hour or so before everything here begins. So you smoke on the reed.
Yeah, for 10 minutes, but also probably nah. If John doesn't think there's something we can buy here, then he's not gonna.
The majority of the things you've seen so far, at least, have been fairly mundane, ordinary relics, not quite like magical shops and such like that. Yeah, the majority of these is more like very basic. It's a trade post that sells mostly resources like food and such.
Don't fall in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the majority of what's really here. It's a pretty simple place. It's very much farmer culture, but with the added Viking element, of course. So. But if there's anything in particular you want to do during that hour, just let me know.
Yeah, no.
Nope. Good. So as the hour passes, you start hearing, it sounds like bells, but it's these seers and priests that are walking up and down the street with, looks like an iron pot, and just hits on the pot to make noise while they're singing in a very, very beautiful foreign language. And as they walk around, people start coming out of their houses, and it's almost like a wave around you that just kind of builds up, and people, they start forming around where the church area is. You can see everyone, they're bringing like little gifts and woven baskets and placing them. And you can see that there's these baskets have been placed all the way from the church all the way to the docks. And every single one of these baskets gets filled up with presents from everyone. Some puts like knitted socks in there. There's someone who puts in a set of glasses. There's a lot of alcohol that gets put in tankards and placed in each of these baskets as a celebration and a sacrifice to Drekik. It seems like some of them have definitely heard about his stories, because some of them have this little hand-carved dolls. It looks a little bit like him. Woven little knitted toys that looks a little bit like a white dragonborn. And they all get put into these baskets while they continue to hit these pots or these drums, as it is as well. And as it begins, the ceremony starts with these 4 really, really big, strong guys. They're just lifting Drekik on a piece of. It's kind of like those I don't know what you call it, like those things you carry people on when they're injured. Can't remember what they're called. It's like a stretcher. It's like a stretcher, but it's made like a permanent build of leather and of wood and stuff. And as they're carrying him through the streets, the priestess, who you still don't know what's called, walks behind him, and she's reciting stories from the Book of the Gods, which is the book that you have now as well. And she keeps reciting Drekik's name as well, and saying that now he's going to visit gods, and he's going to stay there, and he's going to protect us on the other side. And he has been a hero for so many, and his journey have already been an inspiration to many more. As they continue to walk, people take these baskets behind where she walks and starts going down and putting them at the harbor. So every time she passes them, it's kind of like they're just walking past her to put them down, and then very slowly the music starts playing in the streets as well. It's very simple music. It's some drums and a little bit of percussion, and some people just kind of singing some very. It is sad tunes. They're kind of giving that sad vibe, but it also has a little bit of momentum in the drums that makes it a little bit more lively. You can see some small children walking around, and you see a little dragonborn, little white dragonborn boy walking next to you with his mom, and he's like, "I want to be a hero too, mommy. Can I be a hero like Drekik?" She's like, "Yes, of course. You just have to be chosen by the gods, and you have to do your homework. You need all your greens." And they walk off into the distance. And as they move closer and closer towards the docks, you can see that there is a ship that's been prepared, like a smaller version of a longboat. And they place his body inside. And you can see that where he was holding the axe, now he's also holding a sword. And they placed a shield over his body as well. The ship itself is full of plants and full of like food and a whole bunch of these different things that would all be something that they give as a tribute to the gods to send him to the other side. And as they put him in this ship, the priestess starts reciting a few prayers and starts talking about the stories that you've heard about Drekik and how he managed to retrieve the Sword of Maroon and how they fought against 100 undead on the hills of the battle. How he had rescued his friends at least more than once from the grasps of death. And how he was a great healer as well as a great fighter. And how a lot of people's lives have been impacted positively. And one last thing she says is that she has gotten a message from his sister saying that even though she could not be there in time, she is with him in heart, and she has never been more proud than she is of him right now. She wished that he was there when she came to visit him. But now he will always be with her. And on that note, they slowly start pushing the ship into the water. And the music starts playing. You can see all these birds are getting released into the air as well. And there's a few, for Ingwe it's probably not so nice, but for everyone else's perspective, there's a few sacrifices where there's some goats and such that gets throat slit, and they're sacrificed to the gods to give Drekik a safe passage onto the other side. And as the boat goes slower and slower into the water, you can see there's an archer that fires an arrow into the ship with fire, and the boat starts slowly burning. And as it does there, everyone in the city is singing the same similar tunes. It's like a whole cacophony of different voices, some singing very off-key, and some definitely on point. But the whole city is gathered to say goodbye to this champion of the gods. And then you notice something. You see Silver Eric on the docks. He's standing there, looking at you. He's just watching everything. And then he walks off onto the very large vessel that's currently parked. And then you hear a message in your head. Hello, my friends. I'm very sorry to do this during this beautiful ceremony, but if we're gonna steal a ship, this is probably a good time. So, hurry up.
Okay. Well, we better get going. In some ways, it's lucky Miss Celeste isn't here. She might have tried to stop the sacrifices.
You heard that as well, right?
Oh, you heard that. I was just replying to Mr. Eric.
Oh. No, I heard something in my head and I saw you reacting.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Okay.
We should we go? We should go. Miss Celeste. Miss Celeste.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Jean will. He specifically had put aside 50 gold pieces in a little pouch. He will turn to a random person, whoever looks the most like they frequent a bar a shit ton.
Yep.
And he's just going to go up to the person and be like, let the people know Drekik was a fighter, he was a drinker, but most of all, he was a hero.
Yes, drinker, yeah.
Yes. This is for the whole town to drink as much as they can, as much as they want within this time frame. This is to celebrate him.
Celebrate as much as we want, yes? Yeah.
Yep. And just put 50 gold pieces in his hand. Fucking, I hope you're the right choice. Just sort of try to disappear into the crowd before going down.
Right. As you run off towards this new found vessel, the Belching Boar, ? As you get on board, there's a few individuals already on there, and they look like they don't mind, and you can see Silver Eric is smiling, and he says, we should probably be going. And in the background on shores, you can hear, hey, that's my ship! Sorry, we got to go now. And then the ship starts moving away from the docks as the captain runs after it down the docks. And in his vague-ass attempt to try to jump on board, he falls into the water. And the guards seem to be running towards the newfound stolen vessel. Unfortunately, they are not able to catch up with you. And as you pass by the boat where Drekik was placed in, you see it slowly descend into the sea. As Drekik is now a hero of the gods. But as you leave, Silver Eric is obviously on board. And he says, I couldn't quite find a captain that was good enough to get you where you want to go. So I found the next best thing. I found the first mate. I would like to introduce you to the new captain. This here is first mate Bob John Jack. And he introduces you to this very large bugbear of a man. He has like an eye patch on one eye and a bit ponytail, and he's really big and strong, and he looks like a pirate. Hello, nice to meet ya. So I heard we're going somewhere warm.
Yeah, it would seem.
Great. I hate this fucking cold. Let's go, guys. Going to Dragonthorn. And they start turning the ship. And this ship itself is a little bigger than the one you were fighting on. 3 sails come down and it starts speeding up. And after a little bit, there's another individual that comes out from below. Looks very confused. Drekik is no more. However, who is an interesting question. And let me just grab your camera and drop you in here. Let's see if it wants to work. There we go. Welcome back.
Everything's working.
Yes. Would you like to present yourself and introduce your character?
You see, looking very confused, it seems to be some sort of turtle, and he's holding a cane. He's got like a wispy white beard, and he's sort of squinting around. What's happening here? This isn't warm at all. Where are we? We're leaving again so soon. What's happening?
First mate, Bob John Jack. This guy one of yours?
Yeah, he's helping us in the kitchen. He's been really good as a kitchen hand. He can't do much else on board, but he's pretty good at that for now, at least. He's somehow a little bit confused. He thinks that we're going somewhere warm, but I guess he's right now. We're going somewhere warm, old man.
We're going warm now. Good.
Yes.
Good. That's where
I
we're
think
supposed
it's
to be
north, right? We're going north. Isn't this north? Where's the captain? Oh, wait, I'm the captain. Oh, it's going to take some getting used to.
Northwest, last I heard, but all right. Whatever you think's best, friend.
Right.
You doing all right, old timer?
Oh, yes, just getting on with things. Just moving on. I'm not used to this whole adventuring thing. It's not exactly, it's not easy.
Oh, no, it's not. You sure you didn't want to? I mean, I don't know. Turtles can swim, right? You don't want to rush off to the docks before we get too far? You look like you're going to have a tough time out there, old man.
Oh, no, it's all right. It's a bit too cold for my taste at the moment. If we could get somewhere warmer, that would be nice. I was under the impression we were headed somewhere warm when I got on this ship, but now I don't know where this is, but it's not the beaches, that's for sure.
Yep.
Where were you heading? What? Where did you think you were going? Why are you on the ship?
I was on the docks. I was my first time on the docks, I'll tell you that. I was just walking around, and they wanted some help on the ship, and I said, "Oh yes, are you going somewhere warm?" And they're like, "Oh yes, we'll put you somewhere warm." And they took me down to the kitchen, and they said, "Work here, and you can come with us." So I did. And I mean, it is quite warm in the kitchens when the ovens are going, but this is not warm at all.
Yep.
That's
Do you have anyone?
Sorry.
Do I notice anything about this man?
With your passive perception of 19, you would definitely notice that he has a similar tattoo to yours.
Mr. John.
Cool. Yeah, Ingwe, yeah, I think we need to stick to this guy like glue. I don't think he's gonna fucking make it to the next island. This guy looks like he's about to cock over any second.
It might just be, I've heard that turtles are like lizards are cold-blooded, and they get faster as it gets warmer. The cold. Maybe we should take him back down to the kitchen and continue this conversation.
At this point, he needs to be on the damn sun. If that's the case, like, this guy looks like he's moments away from death.
He does look very wise, doesn't he? I'm sure he has plenty of stories to tell. Seems like an interesting person. Here, what was your name again?
What?
What's your name?
What do they call you, old man?
What?
I'm Ingwe. What's your name?
What?
Oh, what is his name?
My name is what?
What is his name?
What is his name? Yep.
W-A-T-T.
That's the question that we're asking.
My name is What Ardle.
Yep.
What Ardle?
Why you keep asking me the question? I answer you, and you keep asking. Because you need your ears checked.
I'm confused.
You see another individual come up from below. This is a Black Panther tabaxi with green eyes and green face paint across his eyes and across his nose. And it's an individual that you, Watt, would know, because he's the one who came with you because you told him they were going somewhere hot.
Yes.
However, this was not hot. And he's dressed in, it's almost like a kimono kind of style vest with no sleeves. And he has some pants that are very fluffy, almost like an Aladdin type of pants, which is obviously completely wrong for this area. It's covered in all these little bits and bobs of feathers and little wooden beads that's been woven into like long strings and such like that. He has that already on everywhere. He's holding a long spear, which has been covered with his leather strap, where there's all these different things hanging down from it as well, like little trophies and bones and stuff. And this spear itself is like a very... It's not quite see-through. It's a little bit, like matte, but it's like a long crystal spear. and he looks very confused. And you can see he has all these different bracelets and stuff on him, and he's like, "I heard you were screaming, my friend. What's going on? Where are we going?"
Oh, they're taking us somewhere warm this time. They told me.
Are you
They
sure?
told me-
Because this is the second time you told me that we're going somewhere warm and we end up somewhere cold.
Oh, we also have a new captain. Yes, he says that we're going somewhere warm.
Oh. Interesting.
I have a
ones who
feeling
set
the
the
old captain was a
destination.
bit shit.
What are you saying?
We're the ones who set the destination, friend. Don't worry. We're definitely going somewhere warm. From what I can
Yes.
Ooh,
Are
I'm
you?
glad to hear it. I don't think this one should be in charge of navigation.
Oh,
But he's a good listener, I've heard.
Good. Good.
oh, yes, I do try.
Listens
to-
well.
Yes. He's a good and wise individual. When he's not giving directions.
All right. Come on, old man. I think we need to get you. You're right. Anyway, let's get him downstairs back into the kitchen or something. Get you out of this cold. Come on.
Are there more dishes that need doing? I can...
Yeah, sure there are. Come on.
I don't know what sort of detergent they use in this ship, but I think I'm allergic to it. Look at my arm. It's got all these markings on it now from this dishwashing thing. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
see that shit?
Yeah. I tried to point it out to you earlier.
Oh shit, my bad. I didn't realize. Yeah. Come on. Downstairs, old man.
All right, I'm coming. I'm coming. Yes, I'm quite old. I've reached 40 years old this year.
Oh, come on now. That's 1 year older than me.
Apparently, turtles only live to about 50.
Wow. That seems relevant.
Yeah, count it to the actual turtles.
Hope it's not a long campaign.
I'm 49.
Oh boy.
Yes, want to like
take them.
shove him ahead a bit, so I get like a next of 10 feet or something. Try like.
Oh,
the
you
big guys
you
ahead
shove
of
me? Well,
Yeah. No, it's fine. I just want you to get ahead of the game. I don't want you getting in trouble, old man. You stay at the front of the pack. We'll stay back here. Make sure that none of the cold air comes in behind you.
I can shove too. Watch,
Yeah, oh.
watch this.
And you feel a force on your chest as I use my telekinetic ability to try and push you back.
Yep.
You need to roll a strength save of 16.
I mean, I was gonna say I'm even happy to do it at disadvantage because John would not be expecting this. But regardless, strength Dave, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, no, 11.
Yep. So you just get pushed back 5 feet.
Yeah.
Fuck me! Oh shit!
Now let that be a lesson to you. You don't push me. No, push back.
Understood. Yes, sir, old timer. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh.
I like this one.
Well,
Yep.
if you don't mind, I don't know how you do. I'm a bit slow. I kind of hobble along, so I do some things to help me around a bit,
And I cast Misty Step and pop into the kitchen. Poof!
There we go.
Oh. All right, this is all very unexpected. What? I guess the question that's coming to my mind anyway is, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I don't really know what the tattoo kind of has in terms of sentience, but it seems like it's gone out to find another person to help open the door. I imagine this person has skills that would assist with that.
But I mean, sure, but there's got to be some kind of intelligence to the thing. I mean, at this point, it moved from one corpse, rest in peace, Drakic, to another. It's like,
Well, he seems to have your measure with the like.
well, hold on now, my man. sprightly young man compared to this old fool.
Yeah. Oh, that's. I wasn't talking about. Well, you're similar age and everything, but it's relative, right? Because you're gonna be yeah.
That's right.
Long.
I have to be a 90-year-old human to be in the same boots as that.
Yeah, and I have to be 200 before I get to be the same as you. So,
Yeah.
but I suppose that's a matter of religion, is it too? Because kobolds only live usually. Anyway, I think we should. I think we need to ask him about his vision, or explain to him that we share a vision. Remember when we met Drekik? Everyone was really confused, and it took a long time for us. I think he's probably really confused as to what's going on, and we should help him out.
Confused about what his job even is, like where he is. I agree with you, but I don't know what we're gonna get from this old man. Look at him, he's just looking at a spoon like he doesn't know what it does.
I'm washing dishes. I can hear you. I'm not deaf.
Excuse me, Mr. Watts. I'd like to reintroduce myself again.
Mr. Ardle.
Mr. Ardle.
Yes, my
nice
name
to
is
meet
Watt Ardle. Yes.
Waterloo. Got it. I am Mr. Ardle.
Yes.
I was wondering if you might have had a strange dream or vision recently.
Did I have a strange dream or vision recently?
No, you haven't.
No, I've just been, doing dishes down here.
Well, I noticed that you had a very interesting tattoo on your.
Oh, you mean the rash? Rash from the dishes. I mean, it's not causing any pain.
It's just black mold.
Oh,
Are you a bit of a doctor?
I am.
You can have a look if you want.
Yeah, I would like that very much. Maybe I can help.
So we have to like unfold the wrinkles to like see
It's a little trickier with this one because he has a lot of very gnarly skin. It's like all like curled up almost with all the wrinkles and stuff. But it does look very similar to what you have seen a million times before.
Well, very, very interesting.
Yes. Is it contagious?
Something like that. I actually, it's less of a bacterial, or fungal or virus infection, and more of a spiritual connection.
Spiritual connection.
Yeah, you see, Mr. John and I have been traveling together for about 6 months now, and we met and we are connected. You see, I have one too.
Oh yes, I see. Yes, I see. We all have the same. Oh, so it wasn't a dream, right? I mean, I did think I saw something black whiz by my eye. It was. It's not a rash, is it?
No.
Very interesting.
But kind of similar to a rash in the sense of it tends to grow and change, and I think actually probably a rash is a good description, but it's definitely like a spiritual rash. Anyway,
Yeah.
a little while ago, did you notice a big eye in the sky?
Oh, that. Oh, yes, I think I did see that. That was when I was living back in my cave.
You were. Where did you come from?
Oh, I lived in my cave for about. Must have been 30, 35 years, something like that. It's a long time. And then I just decided, that's enough. Time for adventure. And here I am.
Hear
Yeah,
that
well,
anyway? He lived in a cave most of his life.
well, yeah, sounds like a really exciting life. Well, I spent the first 24 years of my life in a hole with a tree.
Ooh,
So sounds like our life's been pretty similar.
yes.
Was there other people? Did you have elders and stuff in your cave?
Mostly just me. There was like if I travelled around a little bit from my cave, or someone came to visit, but mostly just me.
Hmm. Well, uh, uh, what about what did you do for employment, Mr. Watt, Mr. Adel?
Oh, I just started. I just doing the dishes. Yes.
Before in the cave.
In the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did this a lot, and I go into my shell.
Yeah, good.
Very useful. Lots of knowledge comes from that.
Yeah, good. Well, tell you what, I've got. Can you still hear me?
You want me to come out of my shell?
You want me to come out of your shell?
Oh, if you want to, you can stay in
Okay.
Alright.
Hey, hello, yes, I'm here.
Well, adventuring sounds wonderful. If you'd like, you can travel with Mr. John and I. We're going somewhere warm. We actually
Yes,
we
I heard.
got this boat to go and yeah, we're thinking about like going on an adventure. If you'd like to join us.
Well, yeah. I tell you what. Well, why don't you hold on there, old time, for a moment? I'm just going to speak to my associate in private for a moment. Yeah, just we'll be right back. And as like pulling away, just like what the hell are you doing? You got to look at his tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a pretty good idea of what that all looks like, right? It hasn't changed. I mean, if we show you the drawing we had of Drekix, and think you can match it up.
Yeah, but yes, it's definitely Drekic's tattoo. I have quite a good eye for these sorts of things. So I mean, we have a couple of options. It seems like this person. Well, he did Misty Step and can seem to move things with his mind. Being worldly is kind of your thing. You're all about the world and Miss Celeste when we find her. It seems like he'd be hard to kill in a fight because of the shell thing.
I mean, you aim one of those magic things you guys fire off right down that hole. I'm sure it'll just work like a echo chamber. Redirect everything right into it. Look, I just think at this point we get about much use as him from my grandfather, and my grandfather's been dead, some 20, 30 years.
We need to manage a tattoo to open the door, right? Like everyone needs to put their hands. Eventually, once we get the seals, we've got to. I mean, we could kill him, and then the tattoo would go somewhere else.
Yeah,
And
no,
everyone-
By the way, while all this is happening, I've cast Detect Thoughts on John.
Well, at the same time, can everyone roll a Constitution? No, so Wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Wisdom saving throw, eh? Do I have advantage on that? No.
10.
10.
12.
What'd you get?
Oh, I also got 12.
12. And Mr. What?
12.
Triple 12. Okay.
I got a 10.
Oh yeah.
10. We got 12s.
You black out for a second, all three of you,
Ah, shit.
And as you're in this blacked
What's
out
in his bag?
stage, the three of you are standing next to some sort of blurry vision of a female elf, maybe? But you can't make out the specifics. Everything around you is white, once again. And then it's not. Then you see yourself standing in a familiar, for some of you, city that's been destroyed, overrun by undead. An army is coming towards you. Sean, you start fighting these undead creatures and you start chopping off their heads and throwing your axe. Ingrid starts turning into different creatures and starts tearing these creatures apart. And Mr. Watt starts throwing fireballs and blowing up whole packs of these undead at a time. And as you move closer and closer into this city, you see this cracked, gnarly tower made of crystal, glowing green, with the visage of Sean's wife floating in front of it. And then it disappears. You're in a room completely covered in white again. There is some sort of blurry vision of a hammer. And it's floating in this room. And all of you reach out to try to touch it. And as you do, you wake up once again. And you hear a voice this time. That's very interesting. Don't worry, Celeste is fine. I'm just keeping her for now. I promise to bring her back to you when she's dead. And it fades. And Sean, I think you were the one who had the speaking stone when Celeste was kidnapped, I think. So you would remember that this voice belongs to whoever was on the other end.
Oh, what's that? Oh, it must be past my nap time. Oh, what was that? I didn't even retreat into my shell. I must be really tired.
Oh, shit.
I'm imagining I'm on my back and I'm just trying to rock.
I
Please.
use my telekinetic hand to shove you up. You will accept the assistance.
Oh, wonderful. Another. Taking me too.
High five!
Mage hand.
Mage hand, high five.
You didn't happen to see that too, did you? Anyway, it was just me.
Yeah. That was.
Oh, did you see something too?
Yeah. We're it's part of the rash, soul rash thing.
Right.
We have these visions. We're connected. You see.
You want to talk in secret?
Well, I do want to test something. Did you know that I like to eat sausages?
No, you don't.
Can't say, I can't.
The word vegetable gets put in front accidentally.
Yes. Whoa.
Realize I have no obligation to not lie to you guys. This is great.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I thought we already had to between us.
That's
So we
what
found
I
out
was.
this is- Yep.
That's what I was testing.
Technically, you're incorrect, Daniel.
Oh, dang it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh. Well,
Yeah, you like
we should.
vegetables. But I don't.
You-
I tried to. I try. Well, we should start from the beginning. See. Well, this.
Well, I was a tadpole once.
Is that what they call baby turtles?
Tadpoles. John had one of them as a different one. Same.
Oh no! Let me start from the beginning. Once upon a time, I was in an egg, and this egg hatched. And I was swimming around a bit before I had legs, and then I grew some legs, and then I came out of the water.
Anyone gonna interrupt him as he's just going?
Where he's just gonna like listen to the story and asking really detailed questions, like, yeah. Oh, and then,
John's like
Every
wandering the
time it
kitchen
got
and looking
cold
for
like this weather, I just sort of retreated into my shell for a long period of time. And came back out again.
Oh, wonderful. Well, then, we're all gonna fucking die. This is it. This is it. This is eating cats. Talking to himself.
And then there was Henry. Oh, bless Henry. I forget his. Yes, Henry.
Oh, yeah. No, tell me about Henry. Go on, please. All the details.
Oh, he visited me once every time period.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That must be hard to keep track of
Now, was
days
he
in
the
that
blonde-haired
cave.
one or the brown-haired?
Yep. Well, look, I tell you what. You said you had somewhere private we could talk.
Oh, yes, privacy. Yes, of course. Give me 10 minutes.
And he starts like waving his hands in the air, and you're seeing some some runic symbols appear and disappear.
Won't be a bit.
Yep, no, take your time. He's telling me about his friend who used to visit him at times he did not know.
While he's doing this,
Eggshells.
the Black Panther Tabaxi comes back down and looks into the room while you're doing this. He puts his hand on the beam, and he's like, the captain would want one of you three to be his first mate, just bringing it up to you in case you decide you want a career in the unknown. Just letting you know. And then he removes his hand and he walks off again. And anyway, this time, with your passive perception, you would notice he has a bracelet on his right arm made of flat-shaven rubies, similar to one you have in your possession at the moment. And that's where we'll leave today's episode.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Right, I'm ready.
Everyone gets a long rest except for Mr. Watt. No. For now, you have cast a spell, and I'm pretty sure that is a dome.
It's telepathic bond, actually.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Oh, shit.
I thought you were casting a dome. Sorry. But that's where we leave tonight's episode.
Yeah, fair.
See where this goes next time. If the captain even knows which direction you're going in, and which one of you is going to be the first mate. And is this old timer really worth the trouble?
First one there gets the job. Misty step.
Straight into the water. All right. Well,
Oh, no, what a shame. Oh, no, you're too fast. Oh,
let's roll for raid.
roll for
Laura's like, it's only 10. What? No.
Heights.
I think he's sick of old man already.
No. I got a 5.
I got a 6.
Oh, boy.
My name is Drake.
I got a
am
12.
the old man. Yeah.
Winner.
Woo! I'm the winner or you're the winner?
Yeah, you're the winner. I got 8.
Ah, fair.
There you go.
I genuinely can't even remember the last time.
I think I won the first like
5 in a row and then haven't
Yeah.
won since then.
I think I won
like 2 or 3
twice.
Yeah.
It's always Laura.
It's always Laura.
It's good when she's not here, so we can all get to
Oh, yeah.
raid someone. Like, obviously, we love her yelling at us.
She's been yelling at us all night.
Yeah, I know. In capital. Nah, it's all good. Well,
Ooh, there's.
I like how your first impression of this guy is right. So if we kill him, we can get someone else.
John was like, yeah, like you said, we're pretty much carrying a corpse here. We're just going to throw this man on our back. Like, again, no proper knowledge of magic, but yeah.
oh, we love you, Laura. Sorry. It was just a joke.
Maybe I won't come back.
We'll get another turtle. There'll be turtles.
You need to meet me
Small
now.
turtles.
My
And
name's
they all
Wolf.
just.
Yeah, so there actually isn't anyone doing games per se, not classic games. That I can see. They're either reruns. There is another one, but it's not English. I don't know if we want to give them a try on that. Otherwise, lastly, there is someone at GM Workshop who is running a chat plays D&D. So you as the chatter, as the viewer, will be able to influence the story from the looks of it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're using one of my favorite tools, Tailspire. So,
There you go.
yeah, give them a crack.
Sure.
Let's do it. Raid GM Workshop.
Thank you to our lovely mods. I don't know why it's not a thing, but Doc is there, and I think I saw Dizzy at some point too.
Yeah.
Thank you all for that wonderful time spending looking at people doing naughty stuff. Wait, that's not what I meant.
I was about to say, like, hang on a sec, what was happening?
And thank you for the new follower, which is Sinchi Glitter, which I'm pretty sure is the one we banned because you're dropping stuff on them. I might be mistaken. It's similar name at least. I'm pretty sure that's the person who got banned, but I mean, if it's a follower, they're a follower.
Yeah, fair. I think I banned him and Laura blocked him, so... Or I blocked him and Laura banned him, so... I don't know
That's
if
good
they
because you
even be
can't
able
follow
to.
if they're banned.
Yeah. So that must be someone else.
Fair.
Sweet. All right.
Okay.
Monsters of Mayhem in chat, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah, it's been a while tonight.
Bit of emotion.
Yeah. I guess we'll see you guys next week. And
If
yeah.
I'm not dead again.
No promises.
No promises. Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to see your mind.
If you need me to do something, Tom, just let me know. I'm willing to
Well, I mean, maybe you should set this one on fire too.
go.
But you're gonna be running out of access soon.
No, it's already counting down. It's going to auto raid out in 5, 4,
You can't
3,
kill him.
1. See you guys.
See ya.
And do it through.